I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. Today on the show, I am joined by the Queen of Melrose, Cosmo, where we talk about peanuts, pride, and fried chicken. But first, do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Oh.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who knows there's something about an aqua velva man. Aqua velva with humectant, so beautiful for your face. Ooh, that manly scent. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta. I boarded a round-trip flight this week across the country, and my brand new suitcase had 4 wheels on it. I also never understand this, thing on a plane where everyone who's on the plane acts like they've never seen a baby before. They're so fascinated that there's new life in this airplane that everyone, listen, God bless a baby. It's wonderful. It's great. Personally, I would rather hear a baby scream on an entire flight than hear everybody else goo goo gaga like they are just so fascinated with what's happening. Like, oh my gosh, look, it's dropping all the cookies on the ground, so the flight attendant has to pick them up. Oh my God, hi, Mama Bear. I heard a lady say to one mother say to another one, hi, Mama Bear. Hi, Mama Bear. Mama Bear? I don't understand. Why not? Hi, Mama Possum. Why is it Mama Bear, though? And then the father, assuming her male companion, whoever he was, looks over at somebody else and and they didn't even ask anything. He just looks over at them and waits for them to kind of look up, and he goes, just doing what the wife says. What is that? I don't what? No, first of all, nobody asked, but what is it that you're doing? You're standing in line. What? I don't understand. And listen, again, full love to new parents. So happy for you. I too believe that the children are our future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. I'm on board. But while we're on board, actually before we're on board, why can't you sit at the gate area and go, listen, Mama Bear, when we get on board, how about I handle the luggage that goes up in the overhead bin. You sit down with the baby. In fact, before we do all that, why don't we get our earphones and put them in our pockets so we're ready with that? We will make sure that we have the most immediate snack that's going to quiet the baby. We have with us the most immediate snack or beverage that's going to calm the baby. Everything that we could possibly have at our access. But no, people get on board and they're like, oh, God, okay. Let's see. I'm in 3A. All right. Well, there's 186 people behind me that need to get on. But what I'm going to do now is just start rifling through my bag for my book I was going to read. And do I change the baby now or later? Huh? What's that? Oh, new baby. Just doing what the wife said. Hi, Mama Bear. Oh, I know. Oh, babies, oh, it's so hard. And then the baby's not even crying or doing anything. Like I said, I would rather, when I get on a plane and I see a baby, I'm like, you know what? The expectation is that this baby, whose only way of communicating wetness, sleepiness, hunger, diarrhea, whatever, is going to be to cry, right? Even as someone who has never had a child, I don't even have siblings. I've been around enough babies to listen and go, that baby's hungry. That baby's tired. that baby's being a brat. You know, you can listen to children. Listen to children and know there are different cries. But no, Mama Bear, I don't know, decided to have a baby, but had never been around babies before. I'm so lost as to how that works. And the dropping the food everywhere. I get it. Like, a baby's going to be messy, but not even trying to pick any of it up whatsoever. You know, a flight attendant on an airplane is there for your safety and security foremost. They are not there for you to go up and say, hey, that bathroom needs to be cleaned. Well, I guess when the plane stops, they will bring in a crew in to clean up the bathroom. But for now, the flight attendant's job is not to do that. Oh, my baby dropped a bunch of cookies. Well, maybe you should fucking hand the baby over to Papa Bear while you bend down and clean up them fucking cookies. But that's not the job of the flight attendant or anyone else around you. And then putting the baby up. Hey, my baby's looking at you. I see that. Hello. Oh, hi, baby. Oh, look at the little baby. Oh, are you a baby? I'm a baby. Are we babies? Just baby. Baby, are you looking at Papa Bear? Baby, look at Mama Bear. Baby, look at the lady drinking a Bloody Mary. Is she drinking a Bloody Baby Mary? You want a baby Diet Coke? You want to throw your cookies on the ground, baby? You can throw your cookies on the ground. We can do whatever we want, baby. We're in first class, baby. There's no trash, baby. The whole ground is our trash, baby. Oh, baby, we can do anything. Did you go poop? Pee-pee poo-poo, baby? Oh, baby, you're so little, baby. Where are we going, baby? Are we going home, baby? You want to go see the captain, baby? Let's go bang the door, baby. Huh? You want to shit right here, baby? I'm going to shit right here too, baby, because I'm Mama Bear, baby. Oh, baby. I get it. It's precious. It's exciting for you. I don't want anything bad to happen to your baby. I hope your baby feels loved, but I don't understand like forcing the baby over the seat. Okay, I see it. The only reason the baby's gurgling or looks excited is because they have gas. That's why they're going, because they want to fart. Okay? So we get it. We appreciate it. And this is not to say I don't want to see your baby. If you're a family member or a friend and you have your baby, God bless. I'm so happy. I would love. Hello. Hi, Chastin. So nice to see you. But there was a lady, she was leaning over and she's like, hi, baby. What are you doing today? Where are you going? Where are you going? Are you looking at me? I'm looking at you. And she was like going off and everybody was like, hi or something. Everyone was like, I mean, maybe I can't talk shit because I do that to my cat, but you know, I'm not a cat dad. I'm a person who has a cat. I'm not a cat mom, although I do tell my cat, like, I'm your mother. Maybe it's different. Maybe I'm the fucking demented one because I'm talking to a cat, not a human baby. Regardless, what is that? Hi, Mama Bear over there. I got my coffee, my Lululemon clothes. So, this is going to be happening the whole time. The baby isn't doing anything annoying. You are making the baby annoying. Because Papa Bear wants to do this, that, and the other. And getting up and moving around and looking for this. I have so much anxiety, just myself alone. When I'm at the gate, I get to my gate like, 2 hours fucking early or whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, my earphones are here. So when I sit down, I'm going to slide into my seat. I'm going to put everything down here. I'm going to buckle. When somebody sits down, I'm going to go, hello, hi, how are you? Okay. And when the flight attendant comes, I study it in my brain. I'm like, as soon as she gets here, Diet Coke. Yes. Yes, I would like the can. Yeah. Yes. Ice, please. Thank you so much. So that way I don't trouble them. Right. So there's a lot of responsibility that comes when Mama Bear's there, Papa Bear's there, and baby Chastin is there. And, I feel like if your whole personality is moving as this clan of bears, you would know, like, we're going to be getting on a plane. We have a lot to be responsible for. First and foremost, the safety of the baby. Which one of us is going to hold the baby before we start showing off the baby? So I'm going to hold the baby while you do the bags. when we sit down, one of us will communicate with the flight attendant while the other one makes sure that the baby is like, how do I know this? How do I know this? I have no children. So after 5 hours of traveling with Mama Bear and the baby, we finally land. I go to get my luggage and I'm not worried about it because I'm going to grab it really quick. You know, it has priority tags on it. So priority comes out first and I'm watching and I'm watching and I'm watching. No bag. My bag is one of the last bags to come off, 2 of them. And what do you know? It's missing an inline wheel. Of course it is. Where's my wheel? Who has my inline wheel? Are you going to buy me a new inline wheel? A new suitcase? So there I was in the airport, going out to the curb, looking for the Lyft, looking for the Uber, with the suitcase, wheeling it through, wheeling my suitcase through Booger Down Productions, fucking $300 suitcase with no inline wheel, and it was all chueco, going like this, like it was twerking. My suitcase was twerking down the way. My God, and I was going to have to walk. They have the tram to go to the Uber and Lyft area. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting on there. I would rather walk. But the thing is, the walk with the suitcase and the other suitcase, I looked like a fucking fool. Here's a little trick for you, though. If you go onto your Lyft or Uber app, you can scroll down and click Black Car Service, and they'll come to the curb at LAX. It's going to cost you a whole fucking lot more, but guess what? I am not taking the Booger Down Jamboree all the way down to... The suitcase had no wheel. There was no wheel on a brand new suitcase. What the fuck? And then get on the... just get on the fly away. Bitch, you fly away. Get on the get on the bus. I'm not getting on the bus. There's people pushing people onto the bus to go all the way over there to get on your Lyft or your Uber. Girl, bye. Just call the Black Car Service. Eat out one less time this week. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Are you serious? Hi, Mama Bear. I'm just doing what the wife said. My dear. I'm just a loser. Do you want to see me go looking for my missing wheel? I think you want to see me find my missing wheel. I think you're fine with me not even finding the wheel. Today's guest is a stylist, a designer, a business owner, and a fashion whore. It's the Queen of Melrose, Cosmo. Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Miss Delta. How are you?
You know, I'm so happy you're here. First of all, I don't know how it is that we aren't like super closely connected just because we've both been kicking around the area for so long. Mm-hmm. You know everything about fashion, styling, drag. You've just been immersed in all of it on Melrose, 3 businesses, you know, had it all, have it all. And and the first time that I really started to fall in love is when you were vlogging the Madonna concert. And I went, how do I not know Cosmo?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I've been cheating myself my whole life.
You know what? It's like impossible to me that you probably came to Melrose.
Yeah.
And I had a few stores.
That's what it is.
You know, and basically I know you stumbled into one of them.
Right.
Because look at you, the fashion, the hair, the makeup.
We love it
all there. So I'm sure you stumbled. And if it wasn't Melrose where I met you, that means we're just kindred spirits and we're meant to meet right now.
Right.
But you're right. The Madonna thing skyrocketed me to fame. Yeah, it was crazy. And this all happened like in a 4-month radius.
And how did you get into styling? I know you have obviously a background as a hairdresser, of course.
Yes. Yeah. You did your homework, girl.
A little bit.
I came up from New York City.
Uh-huh.
I was a hairdresser in New York. You know, I got my license early because I quit school. Mm-hmm. And my father was kind of in the mob. And he was like, well, you got to do something. So you're a hairdresser. or you're either going to go be a dancer. You know, I love those two things. That saved me, you know. So basically, because I was doing all the mob wives' hair, you know what I mean? So I got real popular. That saved a lot of people from calling me faggot. I got real popular. When you're hanging out in the mob and you're getting driven around in limousines and you're doing all the mob wives' hair, I became like instantly popular, you know? But I was working in a place in New York City called Astor Place.
Okay.
And we did like Mary J. Blige, Lisa, all the 80s one-hit wonders.
Oh, Brenda K. Starr.
Brenda K. Starr. I did her hair.
I read that.
I did her hair, yes. So anyway, this is all before they came really popular. And basically they would come to this place because it was inexpensive. So it was all barbers. It was all barbers from Italy. It was 3 floors of hairdressers. And they would have to call your name on the megaphone. Cosmo, haircut. But I would not do the barber things. I learned how to be a barber, but I was doing like the long hair, don't care. I was doing all those haircuts that we had, you know, the whole like short on the side, the whole mullet, all those things. So I did really well and I got very successful in New York and I was doing hair for like everybody, you know, and all these things happened to me. Like I came to LA, like Valley of the Dolls, you know, I came here to be a star. And I was actually going to be like Elizabeth Taylor's hairdresser.
Okay.
Right. But what happened, things went awry and I started partying, you know, too much. And what happened was I ended up on Cops and, you know, I got the underbelly of LA.
How do you end up on Cops?
You know what? It was like so random. So basically I usually go to like downtown or buy my drugs. Just glamorous, you know, platform shoes, hair and everything. You know,
done.
Because you think you're Beyonce, you know what I mean? And you want to get like free drugs or whatever. It was free boys or whatever. The whole lifestyle. I love living on the edge. So I went a little bit too close to the edge where it kind of sucked you in, you know, because LA will suck you in. There's a big drug epidemic here. So anyway, it was cocaine back in the day, you know. So basically I went to go score some drugs. And it was the first year of Cops, one of the first episodes of Cops.
Oh, wow.
And there I go. I went down there and here I am scoring some drugs. And then all of a sudden they were like, turn around. And I had lights on me and everything. You're on Cops. And I was like, what? And I was just frozen. And they're like, well, what are you doing here? We found drugs on the floor. We're going to find out whose drugs they were. So it was just me and 2 other guys. And long story short, they were like, sign this thing and we'll let you go. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'll sign this thing. It was a release to show my face on Cops. So I would have signed anything just to go. Sure. I had all the cocaine in my mouth. I was ready to party, right? So a few months later, they aired the episode. So my family in New York, they're like, we're in the kitchen in New York and we hear Cosmo's, we hear Cosmo on the TV set and he's on Cops. So it was, so I lived 2 worlds. I was like on Melrose styling celebrities. At that time, I think I was styling CeeLo or somebody. And they call me up and they're like, are you on Cops? And I'm like, yeah. I was always honest, you know? Yeah, that's me. How could you hide? You're on Cops.
Right, right.
So basically, I lived those 2 lives for a while. So when I came out here, I was supposed to be this hairdresser, but I never went to work because my father afforded me kind of not to. You know, I was by the pool, like Michelle Pfeiffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was going to all like the gay clubs, like the Odyssey. I don't know if you remember the Odyssey.
Yeah.
And we would hang out in La Cage aux Folles. And it was glamour. Like
you're the first person to mention that in so long.
Yeah.
And it hits me when I hear that because a lot of people don't remember that. And that, I mean, keep going. I don't mean to interrupt you.
It's fine.
Excited.
I'm so glad that you got to live that
Yeah.
because that was the 80s at its best out here.
Right. How did you decide, or when did you decide I could take over Melrose?
So what happened was I had to get a job. No more Michelle Pfeiffer by the pool. It was over, girl. Basically, so I went to Melrose and I humbled myself and I asked for a job in this fabulous clothing store. And they're like, can you sell? And I'm like, can I sell? So anyway, I started working in this store and basically just started selling. And then I didn't know celebrities come to Melrose, you know, when they first get signed and they want like a cool outfit. So basically it was the rock and roll world and the hip hop world. So I started designing clothes, you know, and I just knew, I didn't know how to sew, but I knew that I got a sewer and that we could get this together.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I did these jumpsuits, and before you know it, they were selling to like Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx, NSYNC. They wore my jumpsuits on stage. So then the buzz was getting out, like I'm doing like this one and that one and that one. So making money hand over fist, and still dealing with like a little drug problem, girl. You know what I mean? But my work ethic was so fierce that I always went to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always went to work. And then my boss was like, well, wake him up at 2:00. Cosmo, you come in at 2:00 because I know you need sleep because we know you did drugs all night, bitch. So basically they were enabling me because I was making so much money for them.
Right.
So basically I was like the vibe of the store,
Right.
So anyway, that's how I went to Melrose, like I really needed a job.
Do you see Melrose then as like I'm just remembering, like, say, the 90s, for instance, Melrose, and then the 2000s, and then the pandemic comes. Has it changed to you? Have the people changed, the customer base?
You know what? There's still that customer base that wants to come to Melrose and get something different. Mm-hmm. And then we still get like a lot of the stylists and a lot of celebrities like Erykah Badu and Big Frida and all these people that love fashion. And they don't want to wear Gucci and designer. They want to wear some new stuff from like the new designers in LA, the creative people who actually need work, who make like the best designs that I sell in my store, by the way. You know what I mean? And I've been there almost 40 years now. I saved my money back in the day and I opened up one store, right. And then I opened up another store, and basically my stores are just like, it's kind of like the music's blasting, the window says it all. Like, the mannequins come alive. Like it's the energy that draws you in my stores.
Right.
It's nobody outside with a flyer saying, come in, we're going to give you 50. But no. I just do like, I bring this energy, like a vibe. And when you bring energy, you'll get energy, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I even have my girl, like, I don't want anybody sitting down. There's no reason to sit down when you have lunch and you go home. Okay. Right now, we're going to work. You're going to, even if it's not busy, guess what? You're going to look busy. There's always something to do. You could dust, clean, whatever. So I tell my staff, because it's hard to get good salespeople anymore. Right. Nobody wants to do it. It's like, since COVID, like nobody has social skills. It's really crazy. Like I'll hire the most beautiful girl. And she goes, I'm like, girl, you could sell the Brooklyn Bridge. Like you're hired. You start tomorrow at 11:00. And then when somebody comes in, they're just like hiding behind their phone.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? No. Do you go shopping?
Yeah.
Do you see that? And they get away with that.
Yeah. And it's like a weird attitude of entitlement or something.
Yeah.
It's like I think what happens for a lot of people is they don't realize that there's a difference between having a job and turning that job into a career. And just like you said, you started doing one thing and you had your eye on a bigger prize.
Right.
And you were surrounding yourself with people that, even though, like you said, they were enabling, we got to have people around us that know us at our worst, but champion our best.
Yes. You're right.
So we do have to have it. But at the same time, you're offering them an opportunity. Anybody could walk in off of nowhere. Maybe they get to you and say, hey, I actually sew, and maybe you could help me with an idea or something.
Right.
We all ideas off of one another.
Right.
Everything turns into something else. Because, and I know that you know this because you've had to live your life this way. Anybody that's in fashion knows a little bit about modeling, a little bit about hair, a little bit about makeup. You put yourself together. So one of those things rises for everyone.
Right.
You might have a girl in there that's like, listen, we need to have crazy wigs in here. And you're like, let's take the wig game to the next level.
Right.
Or we need to have a shoe storyline or whatever it is.
Right.
I love that.
So I have a business partner, Cosmo Donato, who's very handsome. And I know him for years. And he was my sponsor in AA. He helped get me sober. So I says, would you like to be my business partner? He goes, I always wanted to do fashion. And he was so good at it and really good looking. And he knows how to sell, and I'm like, okay, you're my partner. Let's do this. So I made him, we did a label called Cosmo and Donato, and it was doing really well. And then I started dressing like the fighters and the heavyweight champions. So it went from dressing like Big Frida, Mary J. Blige to dressing the sports world. So here I am dressing the heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder. So I made his outfits. He goes, I want to look like an entertainer. He goes, I want to look amazing. Because those boxes. So we made him an outfit. It was voted on the LA Times the best ring walk outfit in boxing history.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, I was really proud of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should be.
Girl, from a girl on Cops. Go figure.
Well, I think you hit on something that I'm learning right now as you're saying it, and that is this idea of selling something. And to hear the hip hop world and the rock world together, and then we're talking about even before that doing hair on different singers, and then the boxing world. The idea is that you know how to sell. You know how to look at somebody and go, I know what you need.
Right. I tell my people that work for me now, I'm like, listen, if you're here just for a paycheck, let me save you the problem. This is not for you.
Right.
But if you have passion and you want to dress celebrities and also the girl next door that's going to prom that doesn't have money, and you have a passion with fashion, then you could work here. And I'm very grateful every day. You know what I mean? Whether the day gives me $50 or it gives me $5,000, whatever. I'm just grateful that because when you love what you do, like I'm sure you love what you do.
Yeah.
You really don't have to work.
Right.
So you got to do what your heart's desire.
I love that. Let's take a quick break. And we're back. I am here with my soul sister. I mean, I'm so excited. I'm such a fan. And I always talk about like when you meet people and you're like, is that person really present or whatever? You're so present. You're really in it. You really mean what the hell you're saying to people. And your reference points are everything.
And speaking of, I can't. I mean, I could, but I can't. 7969.
Right.
And then there was the Yukon Mining Company.
Oh my gosh.
Remember the diner?
You got to go after the club.
After the club.
And you watch the stroll of the girls just walking around.
And it was RuPaul. It was all the girls.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then all the guys cruising.
Just in a circle. Did you ever pick up trade at Yukon?
Oh my God.
What was the preferred trade?
You either had to be like Puerto Rican, which was unheard of here because you can't find a good Puerto Rican in LA. Lately you can a little bit, but back then it was more Mexican. But basically, those were like the celebrities were circling.
And I tell people this, and they think I'm fucking crazy, but I'm like, girl, shows you would watch on TV, they were there.
The Eddie Murphys, okay? The Eddie Murphys.
What'd I say?
Yes. So you remember that show, that movie Fridays? And Tebow. With the green eyes. The gorgeous black guy in the bicycle.
Yeah.
So I was ginger back in the day. Yeah. And I had hair like you. I had a little dot. And they call me Ginger because I literally look like Ginger on Gilligan's Island. First I started out with red hair. Then I went blonde. Blondes do have more fun. And I drove like a convertible Mustang.
Oh, I love it.
And guys, we should just chase me, around that block. Okay. But I'm like, oh my God, it is Eddie Murphy. And it is a celebrity. And it's Charlie Sheen. So all the celebrities would circle in that parking lot at 2 a.m.
It's so weird to drive down that street. I say it all the time. You drive down and you're like, it's like the ghosts of, you're like, what? This used to be this used to be that.
It's all gone. Now, and there was a gorgeous hooker on each corner.
And it didn't matter what time of night it was.
Right. And sometimes it was us, and that's okay.
Yes. What do I say? Ladies of negotiable affection.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah. You make it sound really classy.
But
I call it housewives from the Bronx.
Yeah. Sluts who need a touch-up. A root touch-up so bad. But we talk about the ghost, but you literally experience paranormal activity, right? With the exorcism.
Yeah. So basically, when I got sober, I was fortunate enough to meet a lady who actually worked the 12 steps with me when you get sober.
Okay.
She also is a life coach, and she also gets rid of like evil spirits too, in like homes and stuff like that. So basically, she can do an exorcism, right? So one day I had a friend, he was having problems, came to my house, and I literally seen her. She goes, I'm going to do an exorcism. So basically, he had a real problem with drugs, but like deep, dark dark shit, you know? So basically, I saw him in the chair in my living room, and she's performing this exorcism, and I see her like fist fighting the demon, and she's talking in tongues, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck is going on in my living room? And I seen him like turn black.
Wow.
Like, basically, I saw like this demonic thing like take over her. And she's fighting the demon and she's sweating. And I'm like, oh shit, this shit's real. This shit is fucking real. You know? And basically, it made me a believer.
Do you think when people and a real question, do you think when people are experiencing like the depths of alcohol or drugs or whatever it is, that some sort of entities are more prone to like be in them or
100%.
come out? I feel like
100%.
right because you're not as strong as you could be.
Demonic.
Is that what it is?
It's a demonic force. It really takes over, you know. And I remember when I used to be high, you know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest with you because I'm straight up, you know. Basically, no filter here, you know. I'll just tell it like it is because maybe I can help somebody else that's hiding in the closet. But when I was high and I was in a closet, I would literally turn into like, I would start convulsing. And I knew it wasn't me. It was a demonic force.
Right.
And I would hear like helicopters and I would hear and it was just like so demonic and your head playing the worst game on you. But I believe an entity comes in you. Sure. I do believe that. And I believe when you become willing, you know, when you just get so tired of living that life where you're not enjoying it anymore. You're spending $10,000 a night and it's me in the closet listening for helicopters. That's no fun. Is that? No.
Right.
So thank God I was released from that. I came back from that and I had to go to a few rehabs and the third one was a charm. And then I, you know, always like mental health is an issue. Like always see a therapist, even if we think we don't need one, you know what I mean? I have them on speed dial.
Sure.
You know, because I want to maintain what I have and I want my sanity, you know?
Sure.
So basically, that's when exorcism really comes into play. I do believe it's demonic. Yes.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking about like all the celebrities that would come cruising, the girls at the club. When you work with as many celebrities as you've worked with, are all of your experiences with them great? Are there ever people that you're like, this is a nightmare? I mean, you don't have to name names unless that's what you do, but
yeah, you get yourself in a lot of positions. You know, like with the boxer, Deontay Wilder, you know, I could talk about him. I was in the locker room when I put that $60,000 outfit that we created on him. And basically, I'm like, you better win. You know what I mean? You better win, especially if you're going to wear this outfit and walk out there like that. He goes, I'm going to win. And it just broke. But the tension was so thick in the room that night. Something was off, you know? And basically, when he walked out, and the ring walk, and it got LA Times, and you know, Cosmo and Donato, my partner, created this outfit. It was on every like story, every news, CNN, and everything. And then he lost right in front of me. Like he got his ass so kicked, and I was devastated. So I'm like, you know what, Deontay, next time just pick your outfit up at the shop.
Oh my God.
But the next day I woke up and it's like, he lost because of the outfit.
That's what everyone was saying.
The outfit was too heavy. So basically, that was like, what? Like you threw us under the bus? Like you just got your. So everybody was like, but it was good. Like in front of like LA Times, it said the outfit won and Deontay lost. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So it was
His coach tried to say that it was the outfit that was too heavy, but right, girl. So anyway, there's these times too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Not everything is very glamorous.
Sure.
Like it's usually blood, sweat, and tears for everything you kind of do. You know what I mean? Like I love doing it, but a lot of times it's just it's a lot of work, girl.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
When you're on Melrose, you're at one of your businesses, is there a place in the area that you're like, I got to tell people this is where they got to eat on Melrose?
Frankie's.
Okay.
It's on Melrose and Alta Vista. And this guy is from New York. And he makes the sauce himself, Frankie. And he's been there literally like as long as I've been there, like 30, 40 years.
Do you cook much yourself?
I cook every night.
Really?
I cook. It really, like, even after working in the store all day, it relaxes me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it relaxes me. Now I'm learning to cook lighter.
Shouldn't we all?
Girl.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get a little healthy, and I got like a little trainer situation now who's also a dance teacher.
Mm.
Because I love to dance. Do you like to dance?
I wish. I mean, I think maybe if I'm no.
No.
I
Okay.
do, but I don't want anybody watching me.
Right. But in your mind.
But if I'm with you at the store,
Yeah.
I feel like my inhibitions would be gone just because I feel like you bring that out of people.
Yeah.
I think you make people feel, I feel so comfortable. I feel like I've known you forever,
Yeah.
but I really do. And that doesn't happen with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I think you're an open book.
Yeah.
And I feel like every day we are all writing our book, right? And so as we're writing, some characters just don't make it to the next chapter.
Yeah.
And some plots change. And that's what you're sharing, I think, with everyone, is that we try to do this, but we veer off.
Yeah.
And then we come back on. And
it's okay.
It's okay.
You
It
know?
has to be that way.
It's okay. You could veer off, or you know, everybody does. Like there's no such thing as perfection. You know what I
Right.
mean? And basically, I show my flaws, and that's how like people, they're more receptive to me. You know, I hear it in the comments.
Right.
You know, and I'm blown away. I'm like, oh my God, she's beautiful. We love you, Cosmo. You're an icon. Things that I was in fear because of pandemic. I gained so much weight. I don't want to be on camera anymore. Now you can't get me off the fucking camera. You know what I mean? Because years ago I was on camera, you know, and I was like skinny, but it was like kind of like drug skinny. And you know what I mean? It wasn't even like a good skinny, you know? So when I gained the weight, I'm like, oh, I kind of got like in a little thing. I was sober, thank God, but I didn't want to be on camera anymore because I don't like the way I looked.
Right.
But then I'm just like, let me just be me. It's okay.
Right.
You know, it's okay. You have a hunch on your back. Throw glitter on it. You know what I mean? You're like, you
Right.
live once. So, and I was fearful, like the comments, like, oh, of course we always get one negative comment, you know, but I'm lucky I just get like one. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm like, let me pinch myself. And, you know, all these things that I really wanted to hear as a child, like, your hair is beautiful, and Cosmo, you're beautiful. And, you know, and I could cry because it's like, I read these comments and I see these things. It was like a dream come true. You know, it's like
Sure.
people are really like rooting for me. We're the ones, we could be our own worst enemy. You know what I mean? So I'm just really grateful today. And then meeting you, oh my God, girl. And it's like, you know, this is all like, I'm just like so grateful. Like I'm on your talk show, and I know we're gonna hang out, and I'm gonna make some sauce. I know it.
Will you fuck for shoes?
I've fucked for less.
You have. You have. What's your? I remember one of the first.
I love it.
One of the first pair of drag shoes I ever bought. My friend Raja and Philip, who used to be called Tyra, we went to a store on Melrose and we bought these. Elsie and Anita was the brand, and they were back when, like, late 90s, when that baby doll platform high heel was happening, and they were covered in glitter.
Yeah.
So Raja had the nude with the black lace, and Philip had the baby blue and the pink, and I had the red. And it was just like a thing. And I remember we were like, I don't know. I want to say the store was like Red Balls or something like that.
Yes.
But I remember we thought like, oh, we're on Melrose,
Yes,
bitch. We
we have
saved our
arrived.
tips. It was like a $300 pair of shoes. To us, there was nothing more expensive.
I fucking love Raja. I love Raja.
Yeah.
She was one of the best performers in 7969.
The best.
When she did My Bloody Valentine.
I mentioned this, and some
Oh my
They
God.
don't remember.
She brought down the house. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then she goes in the paper bag.
Uh-huh.
And she takes this head out.
Yep.
It's full of blood.
Yeah.
And she was just so theatrical. And I love Raja.
I mean, this is like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my
This is
God.
like, at
That
least
was
three
the best times. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, that was the best times. But now I know by Raja, she was one of the winners on RuPaul.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't give you, she just gives you, she gives you the illusion.
Mhm.
You know, she gives you the fantasy. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, she doesn't give you the tits and the ass and all that, you know, all that sex appeal, but she just gives you more. You know what I mean? And she's really,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, and you talk about that, like, back in the day, that's what it was. It's like when you would come out, you would put yourself together, and when you came on stage, it was like you were creating your own music video. This is my song. This is what
Yes.
I look like. This is the mood I'm creating.
Right.
And then, it did change. And of course, hold the space for all kinds of drag. If you get a great dancer, that's great. If you look like somebody, that's great.
Right.
But it used to just be about, like, just give me an all-out glamour, bitch. Just give me a puss.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? I just want to see puss.
Just giving you puss, bitch.
Yeah.
Just giving
Such a different time. And then go to UConn after and get messy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The
times of my life.
That is so wow.
So you remember RuPaul's first show she did? She did her first
talk show when it came to LA.
Right. So she goes, so she's on the talk show. And then she does a segment. She goes, my idea of having a good time is going to UConn Company at 2:00 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And then she comes with the whole camera crew. And then she calls me and she calls I was Ginger. Remember Gilligan's Island? Yeah, I was like, Gilligan. Yeah, I really thought it was her. It was scary. But she called me, she called Jasmine, she called Viva. We were all eating and she filmed us all in front of the show. As a matter of fact, I looked it up not too long ago. And I was like, oh my God, I was 30 years younger. You know what I mean? Like, we were so pretty. You don't realize how pretty we were.
Yeah.
And then you look back and you're like, oh my God, I was gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
You know? And I was even contemplating, like, maybe getting the sex change. And then I went to the doctor. He's like, no, you have just an alter. There's a New York Italian guy. You need to keep him too. So I was like, okay.
Well, how old were you when you were thinking about that?
You know what? When I started hanging out with the girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally. Like, when I was younger, I always had a towel on my head and high heel shoes. You know what I mean? I was going to marry Davy Jones. From the Monkees. And basically, that was my thing. And then my mother tried it. She's like, men don't marry men. And I just looked at her and I was like, oh, that's what you think, Mom. You know what I mean? I was always that bitch, And that's why I always grew up like a rebel, Yeah. And then my father was in the mob. And then he gave me that beating. He's like, you're never going to be gay again. And I walked out of the room like this, girl. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Just you're born that way.
Right.
You're just born that way. Like, I didn't know. Like, did you know? Like, you knew when you were a baby.
Yeah, you know.
And then I knew that I was in the closet living a fantasy, putting on my mother's wigs, and I was putting the dresses on and the high heels, and cut to, that's me now.
Right.
But only I don't have to hide it anymore. Basically, I came storming out. I was never in.
Right.
Like, in the 80s, it was fashion. I don't know about you, but my hair was pink and I was running around the village and I was wearing leopard. We called it punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
But
right.
I'm like, bitch, I'm a drag queen.
Yeah. And what do you think, like, now? I mean, what was gay pride then versus gay pride now? It's 2024. Do you see it different?
You know what? I don't see it different. I see that the gay people still support each other. The government's going to be the government. You know what I mean? They want to take away our rights. They want to give us our rights, And we really have to march and do all the things, honestly. And, like, who wants to be political? Like, not me. But I find myself as I'm growing up, and I'm, basically on Melrose so long, like, I'm just getting to, like, save Melrose, and, you could be sober. And then also you could be gay and just be yourself. And if you want to put makeup on one day, put makeup. The next day, if you want to play baseball, you play baseball. Like, embrace yourself. You have to really, like, that was the thing I was lacking. I was kind of afraid to love myself.
Mm-hmm.
But now I love myself. Like,
right.
Meatballs and chicken and all. Like, I love myself. I look in the mirror. I'm happy what the way I was born. You know what I mean? And I tried to hide it for so long behind drugs. So I just want to, like the kids out there, like, there's so many celebrities that still don't come out.
Right.
And they're fucking gay. It's so obvious.
Everyone should, everyone
You know what I mean?
It.
It's a neon sign. And you know what? If you just come out, maybe that family in Idaho would not throw out their son. Because,
absolutely,
or beat him to death.
The optics are so important, for people to hear that.
Out. Like, just, it's okay. It's really okay.
Yeah. What you say is so true there because, there's a lot of people with money, with power, with nothing really negative that could happen to them. And so their coming out experience is basically being facilitated for them. They're going to walk right into the arms of Oprah Winfrey, and they're going to walk right into the arms of a Lifetime movie, and they're going to walk right into the arms of being recognized at an awards ceremony. Meanwhile, because they're not doing it, there are kids being tied to fences, being kicked out, being told to sell themselves, do all these different things just to survive, just to barely get by because they were living authentically.
Right.
And
their parents are watching you on the TV, and you know who you are. We know who you are.
Yeah.
You're one of the biggest moguls, billionaire mogul. And basically, it's like just be authentic. Like
it's not going to hurt you.
It really won't hurt you
at all. It's going to benefit you.
It's going to help you. And guess what? You'll feel better.
And everyone's going to go, oh, look, you're so strong.
Yeah.
Strong what?
Right. Yeah.
You had a place to go home. You had food to eat. You didn't have to do any of those things that these poor kids out here.
Save lives.
Yeah.
I remember going to school. And I don't know, you probably grew up like me, like you. And we all did. And, it was being called a faggot.
Right.
But I got called a faggot when I tried to hide it mostly. Like, I was really trying to hide it. It was worse when I tried to hide it, basically. So, and then when I came out, I'm like, yeah. Because first of all, I couldn't hide it.
Right.
Where do you have
right.
sign? Basically. So when I come out, I am gay. That's me. I always got more respect because of it. Mm-hmm. Just being authentic and being yourself.
Yeah, I mean, generationally, that's what we sort of had to do was call out the joke or whatever before anybody else did, and people go, "Oh, why do you make fun of yourself? Why do you do?" It's a defense mechanism so that I can be prepared, because literally we didn't know who was behind us, who's coming this way. We couldn't just say like, "Oh, don't trigger me" or any of these things. And I'm happy that people are able to do that now, but I think generationally we have to say, we all have the pluses and minuses for our generations, right? A little strength here, a little strength there, but let's take a break. We are back with the gorgeous Cosmo, Queen of Melrose. This is the part of the show we call Read Me Delta. So people will send in letters. We don't know what these letters have in them.
Read Me Delta!
First letter. Dear Delta and special guest, I've been dealing with a stinky situation at work, and today was a particularly rough and smelly day. Here's my issue. I work in a small office with two other people. One of them is brand new. Let's call her Molly. Well, Molly doesn't smell good. Recently, I asked her what kind of perfume she wears, and she said it's Juicy Couture Rose. Apparently, her boyfriend likes it. Homegirl drenches herself in it, and either the perfume doesn't agree with her body chemistry, she wears entirely too much, or the stuff just stinks, but I can't take it anymore. I feel like I have to say something, but what? How do I say it? Molly is super sensitive. The third coworker in the office also thinks she smells bad, but he doesn't think I should bring it up because Molly is so sensitive. But I feel like I need to. Please help me handle this situation in a very Delta way. Thanks, very Nikki. Have you ever had that experience where somebody... I thought this was going to go like she smells like doo-doo or something.
Yeah,
but it's the perfume.
I don't know. I would either befriend her, like really get close to her and be like, girl, I don't know what you're wearing, but maybe kind of swing it in a nice way. But girl, like maybe wear something else, or, I don't know. It's kind of a situation. It really is.
It is a tough situation. Yeah. I feel like maybe you have a conversation about other fragrances. Like maybe you say, hey, maybe you buy a bottle for her and say, have you ever tried this? It's the new fragrance. I'm in love with it.
Right.
I think you would love this. And see if maybe that new fragrance on her smells better.
Yeah.
Or maybe all fragrance does something with her chemistry.
Yeah.
It could be sometimes diet. Sometimes what people eat comes out of their pores, right? So people that love like a lot of onion and a lot of garlic, that's an issue. I don't know. I love a lot of onion and a lot of garlic. Yeah. I hope I don't stink.
It doesn't bother me. It makes me hungry.
Right. It just makes me want more. But I am somebody that likes to douse myself in perfume. So I do know people that are like, you wear too much.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. Do you have do you like fragrance? Do you wear certain fragrances?
Girl, I am like you. I douse myself in fragrance.
Yeah.
You know, I remember White Diamonds by Elizabeth
Oh
Taylor.
yeah, that was the deal forever.
That was my go-to. And I'm telling you, anywhere I went, they were like, "What are you wearing? You smell so amazing."
Mm-hmm.
But I overdo perfume. Like I literally need a bottle a month. The objective is like, say a man comes over my house and he enters my bedroom, for him to take all his clothes off like immediately.
Right.
And just by the way I smell. So that's
it happens.
And it happens.
It happens.
It doesn't
you have no
happen.
control over that. You know, you can't. If you're blonde and beautiful and
Right,
you smell good.
Right. And the lighting is good.
That's so important.
Yeah.
It is.
I find that I'm now a woman of a certain age, you know, like I still invite the men over, but I have the whole set. Like I have the lighting, I have like this big negligee with much feathers, you know, and like, you know, higher shoes and always a stocking, you know what I mean? Where before it was like in broad daylight, I would go to the Yukon Mining Company for lunch in drag, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now it has to be a certain hour, you know what I mean? Now it's got to be a little planned.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the fragrance takes a big part of it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It sets a mood. And it's funny you mentioned White Diamonds because I feel like a lot of fragrances, especially like mid 80s to like the 90s, it was like there was something strong about a lot of fragrances, right? And I think now people do love a fragrance that smells good, but somehow is like natural to them. I want it to smell fake.
Yeah.
I like all that.
I loved it too.
I
have
love
my
it.
fragrance too. I came out with a fragrance.
You did?
I'm going to send you a bottle.
Oh my gosh, I would love it.
It's called My Cunt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's My Cunt by Cosmo. And it's like, you too could smell like Cosmo's cunt. And it's in a very pink with the little puff. You know, just
a beautiful bottle.
A queen's dream, girl.
Yeah.
So basically, I sold out twice on my website. So now it took me 2 years to make this fragrance. So it basically smells like kind of a little bit like White Diamonds, sweet, and then a little ghetto like horchata.
Oh, I like that. I've never thought of those two things together.
You're going to love this fragrance.
Yeah, I
girl.
need that. I want to smell
I'm
like
gonna
flowers
send you a bottle
and dessert.
So it has like a really sweet smell, you know. And yeah, people seem to love it. So I know you're going to die for it.
Oh, I know so.
It's going to bring you back to the 80s.
And
all you need is like one squirt and it'll last you.
I love that.
Yeah, I made it really strong. I have this for you.
You do?
Yes, girl.
Oh my gosh.
So these are like my best sellers. Like I sell out every week.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go. Queen of Melrose.
Oh.
There you go, honey. Yes, maybe I could throw a little net and some flowers on there and it could be your fascinator.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, you could wear that when you go to Stater Brothers. How about that?
Oh my gosh, yes. So these are big sellers. That are these on the site or are these?
They're on the website.
These are on the website. And you can get these at cosmoanddonato.com. These are the best sellers. So many other things, and the perfume is going to be restocked. How about this one? Dear Delta and Cosmo, I have a problem. I'm horribly poop shy. I have absolutely terrible poop anxiety, and it truly affects my personal life. At work, I've had to force myself to get over my poop anxiety as I work the morning shift, which means I need coffee, which then leads to the inevitable motion in the ocean, and you catch my drift. I've gotten more comfortable pooping at work by using very specific parameters. However, in other public spaces like bars, libraries, theme parks, and retail stores, I just can't do it. Any advice on getting over my deep poop anxiety? Love you and the pod so much. Sincerely, very Evan. Are you nervous about using the restroom?
Girl, you know, there was a time that I didn't use anybody's restroom when I had to go to the bathroom. There was a time. But, you know, I ate a lot of starch and meatballs, so I never had to go.
Yeah.
So my advice, eat a lot of potatoes and starch. And yeah, you'll be able to control it better.
Right.
But basically, I got over that one. But I identify with that because I don't like to poop in people's. I didn't really for a while. Like I waited till I got home, and then when I was a baby, I was afraid to shit in the toilet bowl.
Oh,
I was
wonder
so
why.
scared. I had a phobia. I thought I was going to literally fall in the bowl. Like my twin brother was acing it. My sister, everybody was on the bowl. But I would just be scared of it for some reason. So I was like literally 5 years old.
Wow.
So I remember my mother used to get like this baking pan.
Okay, and?
And I would have to go in the baking pan.
Like set it in the toilet or just wherever?
No, like in the kitchen, you know, at home, whatever. And she's like, you know, Cosmo, go to the bathroom because I was deathly afraid of the toilet bowl.
Do you ever keep a baking pan around just in case?
But I remember my mother during the holidays, which is like so scary right now. But you know how shit comes back? I remember her for the holidays, she would make the chocolate icebox cake.
Stop it. Stop it.
So I don't know if
Cosmo
it was
special holiday
girl,
cake.
I don't know if it was the same pan, girl. Let's say not. Hopefully she had two of the same pans. But
Yeah.
I remember the icebox cake, which was like a chocolate pudding.
Oh my gosh.
Girl, I can't.
That is.
We can laugh today, but girl, it was like I was terrified.
Will
And I
you
was
go to the
terrified
bathroom?
to shit in the toilet and terrified to eat that cake during the holidays.
So your mind was just all over the place with it.
Yeah.
Do
it
you
was.
do you use a public toilet now if you have to?
Oh yeah, I just go, girl.
It doesn't matter. I tell you what, a trick that I did learn is that sometimes when I'm going to take like a long flight and I don't want that to happen, I will pop a like an Imodium
Uh-huh.
or something that's going to prevent me from going to the bathroom.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, something
Because
that
I know it prevents diarrhea, but it also prevent you to go to the bathroom.
it just kind of like stops you up a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And a lot of bottoms actually will take that. They'll prepare the way they need to prepare. They
Uh-huh.
won't eat during the day, and they'll make sure to pop one of those so everything just sort of plugs itself.
Oh, really?
It's a trick that people do. Yeah.
Oh wow! You live and you learn. Here
You
I
do.
am, 61. I'm gonna go to the drugstore right after this.
Yeah. You never know. I
You
mean,
never know. Who wants a dirty deal? Not
right.
me.
Nobody wants that.
Uh-uh.
No, they pay for that.
Yeah, they do.
It's one of those things in the black book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Scat.
You just
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you go. Shh.
I won't tell your secret.
I did have this trick come over one day, and he was so gorgeous. And I met him at Peanuts.
Okay.
And all the freaks come out at night, girl. And there was, that was the place to meet all the men. And anyway, he comes over, and he's so sweet and gorge. I mean, gorge. Those guys were gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then you go in their car, and they had a baby seat.
Oh, of course.
And they were married, and whatever. And then you go home, and they want to suck your dick. I mean, yeah, they always confuse me. So I brought him over, so nice, and he's like, "Are you into diaper play?" And I'm like, "What is diaper play?" He goes, potty training," and I'm like, "I don't think I like where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Could I just like suck your dick like a normal queen?"
Like a normal queen.
Like a normal queen. He goes, "Well, I wanted to ask you, could you so hot, girl. Like I always seen him at the club too, girl." And he finally got him in my living room, and he's like, potty train. And I'm like, "What is that?" And he goes, "Could you shit on my chest?" "Could you shit on my chest?" And girl, I was like mortified, queen. And then I was like, okay, I went in the bathroom. I took a laxative. I said, "Are you ready?"
Did you let have? Did you just do it?
Girl, I had to have him. He was so cute, girl.
Yeah. We had another girl share. Weren't we just talking about this, Doug? We had our homegirl, Rhea Latre, come up in here, and she's a queen, and she shared a similar story. I don't know if it made it to the cut, but we certainly have to have yours make it to the cut. But I feel it's weird because I have other friends that have said the same thing. In fact, one was like a rent boy back in the early 2000s, late 90s, and he went to see a very, very well-known, gorgeous actor that was on a nighttime TV show, like a crime show. And he went there, and he said, sure enough, that's all he wanted him to do was that. And he said, every time I went to see him, that's exactly what he had me do. And that's what I did.
It was scat.
And that's what I was. Yeah. And he said it was in and out. And it was a transactional affection.
Well, there you go.
That's what it was.
Bro.
That's what it was.
I would call it a dirty deal. And now it's a transactional affection. Now they're flying models to Dubai.
Right.
Did you hear that?
To do that.
There's men, in Dubai, these men that have so much money, they don't know what to do with themselves.
Right.
So they're actually doing that. What do you call it again?
A transactional affection.
Transactional affection.
Right.
But doesn't it sound pretty?
It does,
Yeah.
I think. The thing about being fearful of going number 2 in public, no one's going to know. Just go do it. Walk in, walk out. Listen, everybody takes a shit. Okay. I know you don't want to do it out in public, but it's going to happen. You got to go. You got to go. Just be prepared.
Better shame than pain.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
honey.
This has been so much fun. Thank you for being here. This
You are
is an
so welcome.
absolute blast. Thank you for my gifts.
Oh, you're welcome.
I find it so interesting that some of these things that I say to people, they're just not, I don't know. I don't know if it's because we lost so many people or so many people fell to the wayside, but not everybody knows what I'm talking about. And we know the exact same people, frame for frame for frame for frame, time period from time period, right?
Girl, I can't believe, girl, we are just cut from the same exact cloth.
Yeah.
Like how I never met you in this town, because this is a big town,
right?
But it's really a small town.
But it's not that big.
We all know each other,
right?
You know, I probably passed you. You were probably in the men's room with me in the next stall, and I didn't even know it was you, girl.
Right? Or we were in the same women's stall.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go in the women's room. I had more fun in the men's room.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
girl. I would put my lipstick in the men's room. Because that's where all the action was, girl.
That is where all the action is. That is where all the action is.
But I'm just so delighted to meet you.
Thank you for being here.
You're invited to my store.
I can't wait.
And you're a friend forever.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for listening and watching Very Delta. Our show comes out every Monday. Subscribe to Mom Podcast YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. Search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps to listen to the audio-only version if you can't take all of the visual glamour of this. You can also sign up for our premium offerings on Mom Plus Gold by visiting mompodcast.plus, where you get weekly episodes of more Very Delta. Don't forget to send all of your questions to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. And where can people find you on social media?
At Cosmo, we're Cosmo Queen of Melrose. Okay, there's all platforms. There's like Instagram, YouTube, and all the social media platforms. And then CosmoandDonato.com. And our stores are on Melrose. And we have Glam Squad, Cosmo and Donato, and we also open Shoe Whore LA.
Shoe Whore LA. Ooh,
which you would love.
Follow us on all of your social media platforms. And until next week, keep things very Delta.
Go off, Delta!
Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, a.k.a. Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Margot Padilla. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions.
I look like I touch myself. I want you to love me.
Mom!
To listen to Very Delta ad-free, 1 day early, and to get access to more Very Delta and all of Mom Podcast's premium content, check out Mom Plus Gold at mompodcast.plus.